Oh, yes. Oh, we should mention, what is the story about the yearbook? Can we do this with the Tucker Carlson yearbook? Do we have a clip of him the other night sort of trying to get out ahead of this story? The other night...
That should be in sound polls.
Yeah. The other night, Tucker had a weird segment where he was talking about some middle-aged man. And I got news for you. Tucker's a middle-aged man.
Yeah, if the middle-aged man, was this middle-aged man in his class?
I was going to say, Tucker is a little bit younger than me, but not much. I have a feeling that Tucker's probably 50.
I would imagine that this man is the same age as Tucker Carlson.
Nevertheless, Tucker Carlson had this sort of non sequitur segment. He's 51 years old. It's sort of like a non sequitur segment that just came up. Do we have it? Non sequitur-ish?
That's worse.
Yeah, here it is.
Here it is. And so this is what he did the other night. And now we're about to know why.
News from the world of big tech. We spent the day hearing from quite a few old college classmates, in some cases people we've been out of touch with for 30 years. It was nice, but here was the occasion for it. Jeff Bezos had one of his minions, a mentally unbalanced middle...
One second.
Mentally?
No. I just want to go back and I just want to make this proclamation right here. If you ever hear us refer to us as we, in other words, if I ever start using the royal we to refer to me, I'll say we as a show, but we as a show did not all go to college together. And I presume that unless everybody working on Tucker's show all went to Trinity, or maybe he's talking about St. George's private school that he went to. I'm not sure.
So perfect that he went to Trinity.
If I start referring to me as we, please stop the broadcast. Ask me what's wrong. See if I'm having some type of episode. Go back to the beginning, because that's one of the royal we he's using here.
And I like this big tech weave he's trying to.
Yeah, right. Off, this is this story of big tech. Wait, what? All right.
Before we go tonight, a quick piece of news from the world of big tech. We spent the day hearing from quite a few old college classmates, in some cases people we've been out of touch with for 30 years. It was nice, but here was the occasion for it. Jeff Bezos had one of his minions, a mentally unbalanced middle-aged man called Eric Wempel, pull our dusty college yearbook and call around to see if we'd done anything naughty at the age of 19. That sounds like fun. Let us know if you hear any good stories.
Turns out he had.
Before Bezos drops any more of his billions on opposition research, you should know that it will not affect any election outcome. This is a news show. It's not a political campaign. No one here is running for anything or plans to. On the other hand, if Jeff Bezos wants to come over to reminisce about 1987 on this show, he's always welcome, anytime. That's about it.
That's a way of addressing something.
So Wempel is a writer for the Washington Post. And of course, everyone knows that Jeff Bezos is the assignment editor for the Washington Post. That's just his side job when he's not just being a multi-billionaire. And Wempel just obviously got tipped off.
Not an assignment editor. He determines Wempel's tweet feed.
Oh, his tweet feed too?
Yeah.
Wempel, so Wempel obviously got tipped off, right? I mean, otherwise it would have occurred to Wempel before, I'm going to just check and see what's on Tucker Carlson's, what do you call it? Yearbook.
Yeah.
And
so he was tipped off by a mentally deranged middle-aged man.
Wempel is the mentally deranged.
Oh, I'm so sorry.
Middle-aged man. And incidentally, so too is Tucker, who's middle-aged. I mean, 50 is middle-aged.
Right. Okay.
And apparently they found something. Apparently there was something there, and Tucker knew it. It was nice to reminisce, and he's just trying to make it. It's about 87, which is fine. You're in college. Different people do things in college. I remember I drank a little too much. I smoked a little too much pot. And also I joined that virulent homophobic group and also the racist group. Oh, wait a second. That wasn't me. That was Tucker Carlson. somebody on the line found the yearbook, and he listed himself as a member of the Dan White Society. Who was Dan White? Dan White was the man who murdered Harvey Milk. And that murder probably, let's see, if that was 1987, was fairly recent relative to that moment.
Interesting closed mouth smile. But we missed that bow tie.
He was killed less than 10 years earlier in San Francisco. He was the first gay politician elected in San Francisco, or at least non-closet, open politician. And
do we know Carlson Tucker? Is it Samson something like Samson McNair or something?
Swanson McNear.
Right. And yeah, Jesse Helms Foundation and the Dan White Society. I had like Spanish Club, but that was just me.
The Jesse Helms Foundation. That's sweet. Was he a constituent of Jesse Helms? Wasn't Jesse Helms senator from, was it North Carolina or South?
Yeah, North Carolina.
Carolina. As far as I know, I wonder if Tucker ever even lived in North Carolina.
Well, he was from California, is he not?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That would be weird. And of course, Trinity, I believe, is in Connecticut. That's my understanding.
Yes, I think.
I wonder what it is about Jesse Helms. Would you Google Jesse Helms for me?
Sam, the fact that you're talking about this, you're a mentally deranged middle-aged man.
I mean, that's not. I think that's a fair assessment. I don't take issue that. Well, Matt, will you Google Jesse Helms? I'm just curious. Wonder what it was about it. If it's maybe not North Carolina, what was it about Jesse Helms that he liked? Let's see what Jesse. Pull up Jesse Helms there for a moment. Let's see if we can figure it out. Maybe it was. What could it be about Jesse Helms that was? Let's see. Jesse Helms. Maybe it's too small for me to read. We can read a couple of those, but he was, of course, a politician. He was a leader in the conservative movement, and let's see.
He opposed the federal investigation into what he considered state affairs, including legislating integration via the Civil Rights Act and enforcing suffrage through the Voting Rights Act.
Oh, so he was against the Voting Rights Act and the Civil Rights Act. Oh, that's interesting.
He fought what he considered to be liberalism by opposing civil rights, disability rights, feminism, gay rights, affirmative action, access to abortion, the Religious Freedom Restoration Act, and the National Endowment for the Arts.
And no American politician, as written by the the Almanac of American Politics, no American politician is more controversial and he brought on an aggressiveness to his conservatism as in his rhetoric against homosexuality. Yeah. And
so I wonder if the Dan White Society and the Jesse Helms Society met, back to back, right? It was a 3:30 meeting on a Wednesday.
I'm surprised they're even separated because in 1987, Helms said somewhere along the line, we're going to have to quarantine people with AIDS.
It's a bit of a distinction without difference, I would say. Except, Tucker Carlson obviously has a deep attachment to North Carolina.
Yeah, at that time, Helms was supporting legislation to exclude people with HIV from being able to travel to the States. So that's who Tucker Carlson's fan of.
Sam's Small Moose. Did you see Glenn's article on Matt Gaetz? Any thoughts? He technically hasn't been pronounced guilty as of yet. I have not seen Glenn's article on Matt Gaetz. I haven't spent too much time talking about Matt Gaetz, to be honest with you, because I just don't think that it's that, politically relevant. I'm glad to see the guy go. He hasn't been pronounced guilty as of yet. I don't even know if he's been charged as of yet. He's being investigated, but certainly there's been instances where I think Glenn Glenn is not the arbiter of evidence that he proclaims. When these things are public, the evidence is always sort of dubious on some level, unless like you have a video of something, then it becomes a little clearer, it seems to me. But I can't imagine a less interesting story to me than Matt Gaetz is being unfairly judged in the public media.
Yeah, the Tucker way he was describing the Washington Post reporter, it reminded me a little bit of Glenn's Twitter insults. Did you notice that?
I guess that
just a
middle-aged
string of-
human container, mentally unbalanced. I'm sure, I'm sure that Glenn would take issue with him saying that Wemple is mentally unbalanced. I would imagine honestly,
He can call him out on the next appearance on his show.
I can't tell you how far down on the list the issue of whether Matt Gaetz is being fairly treated by the media is on my list of things to do. I appreciate that Glenn is so concerned about the way that politicians are treated, and that seems like a noble effort. It's weird to me that Gaetz's allies are not as equally as concerned as ostensibly, Glenn is not an ally, but honestly, that's like, I don't know. I can't imagine anything more boring than
And
that
speaking
story.
If you have axe to grind with liberals, then that might be something you emphasize on your Twitter feed ad nauseum. But otherwise,
I just wonder what Glenn also thinks of that Dan White Society connection.
You shouldn't be judged on something that happened in 1987. Chabruski, I already can tell you that right now.
even if you dress the exact same way.
Yeah, even if your rhetoric is the exact same.
Exactly. I think that it's quite clear that Tucker has shown that he has grown from those days where he may have been racist and homophobic.
When are we getting human container merch?
Yeah. Oh, that's shit. That first of all, why is it taking you so long to tell me that?
We've talked. You brought it up. You said we should get a shirt with the tweet on it.
No, I said that.
Chabrushka, yeah, you should get on it.
I just have license to do this.
Can we do that?
Yeah, if I gotta get the tweet again, if it's still up.
Oh, I think it's up. Yeah, we can have. I'm sure somebody has screen grabbed it. I would frame it on the wall, but I like the idea of human container. That's a pretty good. We should probably change the logo too. The Majority Report with human containers.